It is mid-July. You're probably exhausted.
Absolutely.
The alarm goes off in the pitch dark, the air is freezing, and every fiber of your being is just screaming at you to stay under the covers.
Right, yeah. And what if fighting that urge to sleep, like forcing yourself to the gym in the cold, dark morning, is actually the absolute worst thing you could be doing for your biology right now?
I mean, we all feel that heavy burnout this time of year, and our default modern response is usually to just down a massive coffee, grit our teeth, and, push through the fatigue.
Exactly. Because modern culture basically conditions us to treat slowing down as a moral failure. I mean, we expect our bodies to operate at peak summer energy levels 365 days a year.
Completely ignoring the seasonal shifts happening right outside our windows.
Yeah, completely ignoring it. The expectation is this linear productivity, but human biology operates in cycles. It always has.
So our mission in this deep dive today is to completely reframe how you handle that seasonal slump. We're looking at a winter reset through the lens of traditional Chinese medicine, or TCM.
Yeah, and we are extracting a really practical playbook from the teachings and the clinical practice of Gideon le Roux.
Right, he is a Cape Town-based acupuncturist, but he's also a teacher of Tai Chi and Qigong, a Feng Shui consultant and author, and even an accomplished chef.
He really does it all.
Yeah.
And his background brings this vast holistic perspective to human health. He basically takes ancient classical texts like the I Ching and the Yellow Emperor's Classic of Internal Medicine, and he marries them with modern biomedical science.
Which is such a fascinating overlap, and we're going to use that synthesis today to decode why you feel so sluggish physically and emotionally right now, and how you can actively reset your system instead of just surviving until spring.
To actually reset, we first have to look at how we view the cold months. Because in Western culture, winter is, it's framed as an obstacle course.
Oh, 100%. The roads are icy, you have to wear 5 layers of clothing, the sun sets at 4 in the afternoon. It's just viewed as an inconvenience to power through.
But TCM flips that entirely. It treats winter not as an inconvenience, but as a vital biological mandate to retreat. Like, you are supposed to slow down.
So how does that work in the body, energetically speaking?
Well, in traditional Chinese medicine, winter is intimately associated with the water element. And within the body's ecosystem, the water element governs the kidneys and the bladder.
We have to look past the Western medical definition of the kidneys here, right? Just as filters for waste products.
Right, yeah. In TCM, they are considered the absolute root of our vitality. They house the gate of life, and they store something called Jing.
Okay, let's break down Jing, because this is basically your deepest essence, your core constitutional energy.
Exactly.
If we think of the body as a smartphone, Jing is the main battery. And winter is the moment your body automatically switches into low power mode.
That is a perfect analogy.
Right. Like when it's freezing outside, your phone dims the screen, it stops fetching background emails, and pauses syncing because it needs to conserve power for essential life-sustaining functions.
And your biology is doing the exact same thing. It is trying to downregulate your activity to preserve your battery.
But then we try to stream 4K video anyway.
Exactly. And when you force that smartphone to stream 4K video in the freezing cold, the battery plummets to 0, and the device just shuts off completely.
Which explains so much of that midwinter crash.
Yeah, in human terms, resisting the season by overworking, staying up late, or under-resting, that actively drains your Jing. You are forcing your body to expend its deepest reserves just to maintain basic daily functions.
Because the modern luxury of electricity and artificial heating tricks us, right? It tricks us into thinking we can bypass winter, but internally our biology is still tied to the cycle of the sun.
Exactly, and the physiological result of ignoring that cycle isn't just feeling a little tired. A depleted Jing leaves you deeply run down, highly anxious, emotionally flat, and incredibly vulnerable to illness.
You are literally borrowing energy from tomorrow to pay for today.
Precisely. Because Jing is so vital and buried so deep in the body, it relies on an outer security system to take the hits from the winter cold. You can think of Jing as the treasury deep inside the castle.
And you cannot protect the treasury without an army on the outer walls.
Right. That energetic perimeter is called Wei Qi, spelled W-E-I, pronounced Wei Qi.
Okay, so if Jing is the power source hidden deep inside the vault, Wei Qi is the energetic immune system guarding the walls. The sources note that it forms this dynamic, protective shield circulating just beneath your skin and in your muscles.
Yeah, its primary job is stopping external pathogens,
Yeah.
so viruses, bacteria, and what TCM calls cold and wind energies from penetrating the body.
It physically warms your skin and muscles and regulates your body temperature by controlling the opening and closing of your pores.
It manages your sleep-wake cycles as well. Wei Qi moves to the surface of your body during the day to keep you alert and protected, and then withdraws deep into the organs at night.
Oh, to help you achieve restful sleep and to regenerate itself, right?
Exactly. A strong Wei Qi shield means you sleep deeply and wake up resilient to the harsh environment.
So when it's weak, everything gets thrown off. Frequent colds, flus, allergies, and feeling unusually sensitive to temperature changes all make total sense. The security perimeter is failing.
Right, the walls are down.
But there is one symptom listed in the sources that is genuinely tripping me up, and that is spontaneous sweating. Sweating without any physical exertion or heat.
Yes, that one confuses a lot of people.
Because wait, if I am sweating, I'm overheated. How does sweating mean my armor is weak and I'm vulnerable to the cold?
It seems totally contradictory until you look at the mechanics of the pores themselves. Think of your pores as the doors and windows to your house. When your Wei Qi is strong, those doors are tightly managed by an alert security guard.
Okay, making sure everything is secure.
Right. They open when you genuinely need to cool down from exertion and lock shut when a cold wind blows.
Oh, I see. If my Wei Qi is weak, the guard is asleep and the doors just swing open in the wind.
Exactly. The body physically lacks the energetic strength to hold the pores closed. Your essential fluids and internal heat leak out without any exertion on your part.
Wow.
And because those doors are stuck open, that cold winter wind marches right in, leaving you highly susceptible to getting sick. You are simultaneously losing your internal warmth and inviting the cold inside.
So the spontaneous sweating is just a sign that the body has lost control of its own boundaries.
Precisely.
Okay, so let's say we have completely ignored the low power mode. Our Jing is drained, our Wei Qi armor is cracked, the doors are wide open, and we are completely depleted. We need a winter reset button.
We do.
Which brings us to Gideon's clinical acupuncture. And we should clarify how this actually works, because this is not just, mystical energy talk. His clinic operates on both TCM principles and hard biomedical science.
Yes, absolutely. In classical TCM terms, acupuncture unblocks stagnant qi by inserting ultrafine sterile needles into specific points along the body's meridians.
Which is akin to clearing a traffic jam on a highway so vital energy can flow smoothly to the organs.
Right. And from a biomedical perspective, we can track exactly what those needles are doing on a physiological level. The targeted insertion physically stimulates the sensory nerves under the skin and deep in the muscle tissue.
And those nerves send rapid signals to the central nervous system, triggering a massive cascade of neurotransmitters. It increases local blood circulation, regulates inflammatory and immune responses,
and prompts the release of endorphins, the body's natural painkillers. In winter, this specific stimulation boosts that Wei Qi immunity to prevent recurring colds.
It eases cold weather joint aches by moving the stagnant blood and fluid that cause stiffness. And crucially, it regulates seasonal dips in mood by rebalancing the hypothalamic pituitary adrenal axis.
Which is basically resetting your stress hormones.
Right. But wait, I have to ask this on behalf of everyone listening. How is being poked with needles relaxing when we are already stressed out?
That is such a common question. Because we are talking about patients who are totally depleted, highly anxious, and stressed out. For most people, the mere idea of needles triggers a stress response.
Yeah, nobody likes needles.
But these needles are hair thin. They are nothing like the hollow needles used for blood draws. The precise, gentle insertion triggers a profound shift in the autonomic nervous system.
So it physically pulls you out of fight or flight.
Yes, it forces the nervous system out of the sympathetic high-stress state and drops it deeply into the parasympathetic state, the rest and digest mode.
Wow, okay.
As patients rest with the needles in place for 20 to 30 minutes, their breathing slows, their heart rate drops, and they experience an almost euphoric state of deep rest.
Which makes sense, because when you are deeply burned out, achieving that level of parasympathetic dominance on your own is incredibly difficult. But it's the only state where cellular repair actually occurs.
Exactly. You have to get into that state to heal.
And the clinical reviews for Gideon's practice highlight how this physical reset opens the door for profound emotional healing, too. Physical pain is often just the last manifestation of an emotional or spiritual blockage.
It really is.
There's a patient in the sources named Marula who came in with severe lower abdominal pain that allopathic doctors couldn't figure out. Gideon didn't just treat the abdomen locally.
No, he combined acupuncture to release the trapped physical tension with dialogue to address the emotional root cause, and her symptoms completely eased.
He treats the body as an integrated whole, where trapped emotions physically lodge themselves in the fascia and muscle tissue.
And that's because Gideon operates as a mentor as much as a clinician. He runs a 7-week mentorship journey and an 8-week retooling the spirit program. He recognizes that you cannot isolate a physical symptom from a person's emotional state or their environment.
Right. True healing requires addressing the structural, the energetic, and the emotional layers simultaneously. And the physical results of this dual approach are remarkable.
They really are.
Like Sonu Shivdasani was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer and specifically cites Gideon's acupuncture support as a critical part of his healing journey, helping lead him to complete remission.
That immune-boosting, system-regulating power works powerfully alongside oncology treatments.
And even on the purely mechanical side, a woman named Phoebe had been dealing with severe constipation for days. 1 hour with Gideon, and the issue was completely resolved.
That is the raw power of flipping the switch on the parasympathetic nervous system. The digestive tract literally turns back on when the body feels safe enough to rest.
But as effective as clinical acupuncture is, you cannot live on a treatment table. A massive part of traditional Chinese medicine is the at-home playbook for maintaining your health between visits, right?
Oh, absolutely. Protecting your Jing and building that Wei Qi shield daily starts with the absolute basics, which are diet and sleep.
So in winter, you need to eat warming and nourishing foods. Think slow-cooked soups, broths, and stews.
Yes. Avoiding raw, cold foods is crucial because they force your body to expend valuable, deep energy just to heat the food up to body temperature for digestion.
You are wasting battery power on heating up a cold salad.
Exactly. The sources also highlight an herb called astragalus, or huang qi, which is famous in Chinese medicine for tonifying the immune system and supporting lung function.
And we also have to address sleep hygiene. Since Wei Qi moves inward at night to regenerate the internal organs, you have to facilitate that process with early bedtimes and by avoiding late meals.
Right, because if your body's busy digesting a heavy meal at 10 o'clock at night, your energy remains trapped in the digestive tract instead of moving into deep restorative cellular repair.
So you wake up feeling sluggish because your Wei Qi spent the night digesting instead of repairing.
Spot on. Now, once the foundation of food and sleep is set, we get into active maintenance. Gideon teaches Tai Chi and Qigong, and he provides 3 very simple Qigong breathing exercises designed specifically to build up that Wei Qi shield.
And Qigong translates roughly to energy cultivation, right? Combining gentle movement, deep breathing, and focused visualization.
Yes. And to be clear, these are not workouts in the Western sense of sweating and straining muscles. They take 3 to 5 minutes a day.
Okay, that's totally doable.
The first exercise is called opening the chest. It directly stimulates the lungs. In TCM, the lungs control the distribution of Wei Qi across your skin. By physically expanding the respiratory capacity and stretching the fascia around the chest, you are giving the lungs the mechanical space to function optimally.
So for this one, you stand relaxed, feet shoulder width apart. You slowly inhale through your nose, bringing your hands up to chest level with your palms facing down.
Yep.
Then you turn your palms to face each other and open your arms wide, deeply expanding the chest. As you exhale, you bring the hands back together and lower them. You repeat this slow opening and closing motion 9 to 18 times.
And linking that slow, deliberate breath to the physical movement forces, that parasympathetic nervous system response we talked about earlier. It calms the brain while oxygenating the tissue.
The second exercise is called Gathering Heaven and Earth Kree. So you start in that same standing position, inhale deeply, and sweep your arms out to the sides and up over your head, palms facing the sky.
Then you turn your palms downward toward your face. As you exhale, you slowly guide your hands down the front of your body, ending at your lower belly.
I love the visualization for this one. Imagine you are stepping into a sci-fi energy shield shower.
That's a great way to put it.
Right, like as your hands move down, you visualize a shower of pure protective light washing down over you, sealing your skin, and locking those doors or pores we talked about earlier.
Yes, repeating that sequence 6 to 9 times physically and mentally equips your armor for the day. And this visualization isn't just imagination. From a neuroscience perspective, directing your attention directs your blood flow and neural activity. You are mapping a sense of safety and boundary over your physical body.
The final exercise roots all that cultivated energy. It is called lower dantian abdominal breathing. The lower dantian is the area just below your navel, which is considered the main reservoir where your body stores its vital energy, the home of your Jing.
So you place both hands over your lower belly. Inhale deeply to expand the belly outward like a balloon, taking care not to move your chest.
You hold that breath comfortably for 2 seconds, visualizing the energy condensing into a bright, hot light right behind your navel. On the exhale, you imagine that bright light radiating outward from your belly, filling your entire body and pushing out to fortify your skin.
Sitting and doing this focused breathing for 3 to 5 minutes a day builds far more resilience than forcing yourself through a grueling, high-intensity workout when your Jing is already deeply depleted.
The core takeaway here really is a fundamental mindset shift. Winter is not an obstacle course you have to fight your way through. It is a biological mandate to retreat.
Absolutely. If you are feeling exhausted, achy, or overwhelmed, your body is begging you to nourish your Jing and fortify your Wei Qi.
Slow down, eat warm foods, try 5 minutes of Qigong, and if you are truly depleted, consider letting a practitioner like Gideon reset your nervous system with acupuncture.
Giving yourself permission to align with the season, rather than fighting against it, changes everything about how you experience the colder months.
Before we wrap up, there is one final fascinating layer to Gideon's practice called Mian Zhang, or face reading. In traditional Chinese medicine, the face is a literal map, reflecting the internal harmony or chaos of your organs and elements.
Yeah, it reflects what TCM calls the 3 treasures. So your Jing, which is essence, your Qi, vital energy, and your Shen, spirit.
Every single feature, like the width of your forehead, the brightness in your eyes, the tension in your jawline, the color of your cheeks, it all tells a story about what is happening deep inside your reserves.
For example, darkness or hollowing under the eyes relates directly to depleted kidney energy. Patients are frequently amazed by how accurately Gideon reads their physical and emotional history just by looking at their facial structure and micro-expressions.
Because the body never lies. You can drink the caffeine and put on a brave face for your coworkers, but your Jing cannot be faked.
It really can't.
And that leads to a provocative thought to leave you with today. We spend so much time trying to hide our exhaustion, pushing through burnout, and ignoring that internal low power mode.
We really do.
But if you go look in the mirror right now, what is your face actually telling the world about your energy reserves? Are you hiding your winter exhaustion as well as you think you are? Or is your depleted Jing in plain as day in the tension of your jawline and the shadows under your eyes?
A powerful question.
Maybe it is time to stop hiding it and finally give yourself permission to rest.